Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
the big TikTok guys. Love it. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's
Nice to
jump
meet you
into it.
guys.
Let's jump into it. You guys can let me know if you can see my screen. Everyone sees it? Good, good. No, nothing yet?
Yeah, yeah,
Yep,
good, good.
yep.
Yeah. All right, cool, cool. So let me make it bigger because I know sometimes it can appear smaller. So let's jump into like the 4 hours real quick, kind of get an idea of what happened. I know someone asked me during the week about a trade. So I'll go over what this week was. Week started here on Monday. So we'll start from the Monday session. So just from hindsight, we're aware, we are aware, what's that? Let me mute you real quick, my brother. All right, so we're aware that the last reveal of market intent or the last leg that happened in the market, before we focus on this leg, we want to see, okay, what was the last leg that this was, why did price come back up here? Why, right? Context. We're trying to understand why was this leg or this move significant? So we'll start from here. This high that reached these levels that mitigate led to this push to the downside. Now, this push did not close a body underneath this level. So that's a sign and a signal that price didn't confirm that it wants to continue lower right now, right? So this is a sign with the closer of a wick versus a body. So when we look now, we can understand when this push is coming this way. One thing we learn about levels where price didn't close a body is that when it comes back to the high, for example, this one that led to it, it's always going to fail. That's first thing. Another thing you should know about these types of levels, such as here, that leads to a level like this, even if it closes a body, in this case, right? Let's say it did close a body to confirm that we want to go lower. When price still comes back to this level, this exact one right here, this internal one, is going to fail. Well, why? If it closed a body, right? Why would it fail? The reason is because it mitigated something. Not just anything, it mitigated a low that led to an internal low for an internal high for one, causing this break. But not just that, this was the beginning of this entire move that led to this big break. So understand, you're gonna still get a reaction from here. Even if you anticipate that, even if price signals that it wants to come lower by closing a body here, you know that you're still gonna get a reaction out of this because of what it has done already. All of these breaks in liquidity it has taken. You know that there were a lot of momentum here. And I want you guys to know when price creates these levels and you get the retracement to it and it slightly taps like this and leaves off again, I want you to really know, and let me use this instead, actually. This might be too big for all the. When you see all of this level right here that's left, this is a lot of liquidity that hasn't been tapped yet. Price knew if it comes any deeper, well, it couldn't for one, but if it could have came any deeper, the level of reaction that would have came out of this zone would have been more enough to push through this, simply because of the amount of liquidity here that's not even being used that price came back to. So let's carry on. Let's get closer now to the price action of right here. Why is this section important? Why is price respecting this level? If this high led to a low that didn't close a body, why is price respecting it? Same reason why price respected this zone. You have to add context into it. What happened? You had this daily led to, and it caused internal breaks right here. All of these internal levels were broken. This one wasn't the extreme, but all of these internal structures, this one led to this internal high up here. It's a wick. It's a wick right now because it's um what you call it? It's a daily time frame, but on a lower time frame, this is not a wick. This is a full body closer. Okay. So just giving you that context. So let's continue. So when price comes and create this sort of a daily and you get a reaction, let's go down to now, let's say our 4 hour, for example. You could see within the 4 hour, there was this big wick right here. We want to understand what's the significance of this big wick? Well, this big wick, if we go to like the 1 hour, we could see was a 1 hour supply zone. So this 1 hour supply zone, and these are things that you guys might have traded already, but I'm just giving you the context. This 1 hour supply zone was part of that overall move that we just talked about, right? The overall move that we talked about that hit that daily level. And we know that even though this daily level should fail because it didn't lead to a break at the bottom on a daily time frame, we still understood that it's going to give us a reaction because of the structure that it broke along the way to reach that level where it took the liquidity from and then mitigated. So we know we're going to get something out of here. Now, as to how far down, it's not our job to predict that. It's just our job to pay attention to the continuation of the breaks of structure until price reaches what the previous swing that led to this one, which is here, the previous swing low, in this case here, that led to the mitigation, right? Until price breaks underneath it, that's when we can confirm, okay, we're still going to continue lower. But the fact is, price didn't even come and mitigate the demand underneath it. Well, it mitigated, but it didn't come and break underneath it to give us that confirmation. On top of that, even right here, when the retracement happened, price didn't come and break underneath this either. Instead, it mitigated the discounted level. If we were to use our fib tool, we would know that this was a discounted level, right? So price came to that discounted level because this high led to this high. And you can see we're in the 618, a little bit under the 786. So price came to that level and it's giving us a reaction. So the context of one of the questions I was asked was, hey, why did you trade this 4-hour supply right here? The question was, why did you trade out of this? Why did I take this trade from this level? This is a 4-hour supply because the question the young lady asked me was, this high led to this low, but it didn't break this low. So why did you believe that this sell would be valid? Why you didn't think this would come down and then take it out right there? Well, context. When you go to the 1 hour, you can see that that same 4-hour zone I just marked, what did it do? The same thing we were talking about with these levels where price didn't close the bottom. Yes, but look at the internal price actions and what it caused. So in that case, you can predict not a long move, but you can predict the reaction and take advantage of the probable reaction that's to happen. So this 4-hour supply that was created, but it didn't create the breakup structure of the swing that it came from, but it created internal BOSs on its way down. And this is on 15-minute time frame, a time frame that we all know is significant. Significant in what way? Significant to where the market will respect the structures that are created in these time frames if they led to a breakup structure. In this case, we have this high led to this internal low, break first in structure. This retracement high led to this low, breaking under this 15-minute structure, which is a previous day New York level. Another in retracement leading to this internal low, breaking under this level. Another retracement, and a lot of these retracement, if you pay attention to, like this one, for example, this didn't come to a discount, a premium level. It failed to reach that premium level. Another one, this one here, this didn't come to this one, this high, it didn't come to this premium level. Price came much later on, but look when it came, after the mitigation. And what do we know? The last high that leads to that will fail because price has mitigated now. So the level that mitigated where all the liquidity are resting, they're not as exhausted as this level here who's waiting for price to come back to it before mitigating the demand. It's not the same type of condition. So let's carry on to the part about the sessions. So when price gives you this complete retracement, right, you can call it like a phase two because the last reveal of market intent was this whole push here. When price gives you this retracement coming back to the zone, in this case, first level was here, right? Price came in, as you can see, this first mitigation right here, gave an early seller's invite trap, did its inducement, and then pushed out again to fail this level. Why? Because price has to come to the extreme. It has made a mitigation. It's not going to come to your decisional and respect the decisional because the mitigation happened. Without a mitigation, you can expect the decisional to give you the proper reaction. With a mitigation, you can bet your money on the extreme being the level that price is most likely going to want versus the decisional. All right, cool. Let's carry on. So this is why I entertained that trade. Price came to the level, right? It gave me that minor inducement up here and then led to this push down that caused that breakup structure. For those of you who saw the video already, this will sound a little bit repetitive. After this breakup structure, as you can see, one level and this one. Right here looks like a wick, of course, but when you look to the cross, you can see the body was later then closed. You see price pushed out, retraced to a premium level, and then push down again, closing a body this time. So that was confirmation. And then when price retraced again, fell to break this high, created equal highs, then pushed down all this and still did not close a body. Actually, this one did close a body. My apologies. This one closed a body. It's probably best to use the line tool so you can see the body close. Let me delete this. This one was an inducement, my apologies. So this on this time frame it didn't. It was on the 5 minutes it did. But on this time frame, you can see this was a medium inducement. So for me, why would I say, well, this is not going to be the point where price keep going for good. This can be the turnaround point. It goes right back to understanding what levels of liquidity are around. Look at this consolidation range. If you look at this area right here, price was doing nothing but what? Moving left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right in one box. That's the first part. Even if I delete this, what other levels of liquidity do you see? Retail support and resistance. Look at all this retail support and resistance in this area. That price just been tapping, tapping, tapping. So that's already another form of liquidity. What's another one? Before we even call it a channel, first it was a trend line. You can see the trend line was already being built. So we know if price is starting to take trend lines after mitigation, it's going to take the whole thing, you know? So that's just that context. But then when you add the context of a channel, price is giving you a channel that is building in. It hasn't picked a direction yet to give you confirmation, and it chooses to induce high. Channels are much like consolidation range. It's just vertical. It's just vertical like this. What's the difference between this like this versus this like this? You know that once price takes the high out of this, oops, excuse me. We know that once price takes this level got to get taken. Or if price takes this level got to get taken. It's the same thing. If price is channeling like this and it takes this level first, this one's got to get taken. Vice versa, this level, then that one's got to get taken. The only difference is with channel, it's just like with consolidation, price don't always have to take it immediately. We've had consolidations where it happened on a 1 minute and price takes it immediately. But understand, it happened on the 1 minute. Like this right here, for example, if you go to the 1 minute, 3 minute, or 5 minute to look at this small consolidation, where is it right here? Look at these consolidation right here. Price just stayed within the highs of this area. Let me make it bigger. Price stayed within the highs of this area and the lows of it. It took the low first, and immediately the next session came and took the highs. Fine, that's a smaller, lower time frame. These price actions happen much quicker. But if you go into the 15 minutes, hour, and daily, and you see consolidation, you can't expect that it's going to happen just as fast. You have to be able to differentiate the time frames and understand price will take a little bit longer for a higher time frame than it will for a lower time frame. So in this case, you get this big 15-minute consolidation. You see price took the high of it, and you're thinking, oh yeah, it has to immediately come take the low. So instead of you trying to sell here to come take the low, you get taken out. Why? Because you're expecting this big 15-minute consolidation, the low of it to be taken immediately. Same with the channel. You get a big high time frame channel like this just because price shot above right here, this little wick, you start expecting sells because this high led to this low break, this internal, you're already trying to sell here to come target the lower side of it. It doesn't work that way. It's a higher time frame. But if you see I go to the 1 minute, and I'm showing you this to show you a 1 minute perspective of a channel, and you can see how fast price takes it and compared to a higher time frame one. Look at this 1 minute channel, for example, right? Price channeled through this level, price channeled through this level, and what did it do? It didn't break low first, like the other trade that I took, where I took the trade here in target I because it broke low and it was a lower time frame channel. No, it didn't. Instead, price broke high first. It came, stayed within it, and then broke high to do the mitigation and quickly took the low. This happened within the same session at the opening of the time. But look how long this happened. Look how many days. These are session days, all, well, not days, but a whole time of the session, pushing, 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 finally mitigation to then finally come take it on a whole nother session. But this one was taken out within the same hour. It's a lower time frame one. This is on a 1 minute, this is built, right? But the bigger one was more so built on what? As you can see, the 15-minute is what we were seeing that higher time frame channel being built. Where is it? Right here. I think it was this one. This higher time frame one. It was built on a 15-minute. You see, there's another one I already started marking that happened today. And look what happened. Price already took the low of it. It's going to tell you what it wants to do. What happens after we get an inducement like this? We most likely going to get a reaction. But because this is not a previous day, in this case, chances are price is going to just give a slight read and continue lower, right? We didn't even reach 50%. We just kind of hovering around this area. But I wanted to kind of show the context of that, the thought processes I'm having during these types of like when I'm reading and understanding what the language of the market is telling me, what it's expressing to me, right? So back to this 4 hour we were talking about, understanding that that 4 hour gave all this break of structure internally, and it has all this liquidity that we've just spoken about, this retail support and resistance, this consolidation range, this uh build up within this channel, or if you're not even familiar with channels, just this trend line, you know, just understanding that is enough for me to say this 3 minute supply that led that was part of this whole bearish move on a 15 minute is going to give me a reaction. And in this case, I didn't need to wait for a confirmation. I've said this before in the past, and I'll kind of touch back on it a little bit. In certain areas like this, where you get a liquidity cycle inside of a level where, remember I say when a medium inducement is a high, I'm sorry, any inducement that leads to a break of structure is a strong one, right? You had this buildup of a trend line up here. Price dips down and induces it to mitigate. Now let's say where did the liquidity cycle begin? Equal highs get induced into this 4 hour mitigate this 4 hour supply. We get a push out, cause this break of structure, right? That's the first inducement, buyers taking control. Then we get this build up here. After this dip to the downside, a push to the above, taking out the build up for another mitigation that leads to all of this break of structure of a 15-minute level, where it was once a buyer inducement that was showing buyer control. So when that happens, that's a change of hands. The buyers have lost control and the sellers has taken over. So before I expect any of this to fail, I need to see a change of hands where the buyers break a significant level that the sellers were in control of, such as a 15-minute level in this case, because that's what this one was, right? A higher time frame. This one was a higher time frame. These ones were just internal, lower time frame, 3 minutes. This is one more like a 15-minute zone. But let's carry on. So we see that we have a clean supply here. This supply hasn't been retested. Price hasn't even come into it right here. This it's on the 1 minute right there, but I marked it on the 3 minute because to me the 3 minute is bigger than the 1 minute, and it was clean as well. So I didn't need to go to the lower, and it was within my pip range. So if it's within my pip range, it's not above 7. Oh, something made me jump. That was my brother. If it's not above 7, um, why not take it, right? If it's not above 7, I don't need to go lower to the 1 minute to try to find a lower one, etc. It's just not necessary. So I take it aggressive, right? We had a full liquidity cycle. Price did the inducement, led to some break of structures, strong level. I'm going to take it aggressive. So when price came, I used my pip range. So this is how I use the pip range, just to see what the level is, how big. Okay, 6.1. I ended up putting the position. I think it was like 5.9, etc. And you just look to target the start of the last session. And if the last session happens, the next liquidity in this case, you target the next liquidity. And if the next liquidity happens to be near a previous day level or a medium inducement level, such as a previous day, like this Asia low, for example, you then target the medium inducement. Because you know if price is supposed to turn around anyways, it can't turn around without a medium inducement. If it got right here, like it did right here, and started doing this, the worst case scenario is that it comes to this. Either mitigates it and comes down, or induces it and then come down. It can't just continue up and take this just like that. Why? Because it has broken significant structures already. It has taken significant levels. You know what I mean? So you need to have those confirmation. And this inducement right here without a body is still considered a minor inducement because this is within the same session. But as you can see, price still give you confirmation anyways with a body closer in that area. So that debunks any thought you would have had in that moment that this level could potentially this trade could potentially turn around and come take you out in that moment, right? So fast forward, that's why I ended up taking this trade, targeting these levels of liquidity. Originally, I did want to target down here, but I understand, look how many 1, 2, 3 medium inducement levels, potential reversal levels that are ahead of me before even reaching this demand right here where I was going to TP. Knowing that this level could be, oh, this could be the first one, Asia low, knowing that this, where is it? This New York low, because it's a 15-minute level that led to a high right here that broke structure previous day, right? Knowing that this London low three levels of previous day, I could cause a reversal. Knowing that, I say I'm just gonna exit at the first one, which in this case was the Asia low. And you see, price took it, came back, and then took the other one, and then respected the London, and then rock it up with the news. So sometimes this is how you manage your trades. Yes, you can have your TP target, but understand that there may come a point where you have to analyze the market, especially after hours, analyze your conditions, and see if I understand that medium inducement levels, previous day levels can reverse the market. I can't now try to overextend my TP and say price has to come here as if I'm telling the market what to do. That's where it's important. Read the language of the market. The language tells you medium inducement, previous day levels are reversal probabilities. That's all you need to know. You don't need to try to force what you think should happen. Respect what the language of the market is. Medium inducement level, potential reversals. I'm getting out. If it does reverse, I save myself some money. Don't reverse and it goes further. Whoop-de-doo. That's none of my business. At least I made my money. That's all you need to see it as and go forth. So that's a little bit of context about for this week. I did have some other trades such as this one here, which I did make some video context on them for you guys. I'm sure this video is going to cut off soon. I'll run it back one more time so that way we can do a quick Q&A. But this was another that I was able to catch, which was this buy right here. It was in the same context, price channeling and not choosing the low, where is it? Price channeling in this area and then giving me the high of the inducement in this level, coming back, fails to what's the word? Oh no, this was the one. This one actually was with Manny. I was on the phone with. I actually got hit on stop loss on this one. On the first trade, I hit stop loss. The second trade, I was supposed to take it 1 and 3, and I didn't. I targeted the same level, and price turned around. Very simple, same context. And why did I fail this one? You could easily tell from what I just explained to you guys. Price did what? It channeled. And look how I end up filling this trade. It channeled. But what did it do first? It went high to mitigate. What I should have been looking for, the sell. But instead, I try to take this reaction. Why? Because this low caused this significant push to the upside, causing this break of structure. I wanted to see price give me a reaction here, push up. Push up to where? At least to 50%. And look how close it came to it, and it did not give me the trade. Instead, price reversed. So it happens. It's part of the game. It's part of the trade. This was the only trades that I lost this entire week, was this one here. And you see, I wanted to target price to at least induce this level before pushing down, induce this level of liquidity. But instead, price created internal structure right here where it broke, and then came out and take this as the inducement to mitigate and then sell off. So you learn from it. This is how you look back in hindsight of your trade and say, oh, I see where I went wrong, because you're having more and better understanding of what's happening. Another proper one that I took, though, where I followed the rule, as you can see here, same way, it channeled, right? It consolidated and induced low first. Took this one to target high where of the London high. And that's where price came and gave me the same TP. So these were pretty much the trades that I took this week. I think these are different days. Yeah, these are Fridays of last week. So this is all the trades that I took taking this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, literally 4 trades only, nothing today. So 4 trades this entire week, and literally smashed the whole idea of where the market is. As you can see now, you could tell we're in a very consolidative area. You could take this marker and mark this and see this is where we're at now on a higher time frame, like the 1 hour. You can see prices just ranging in this area. This high didn't break underneath this low. This level didn't break above this high. Instead, it induced it. So we don't have a clear confirmation from price yet whether we're going to continue bullish or we're going to continue bearish. So you don't want to make that prediction. You just want to see that this is where you're at. Always have an understanding of where you're at in the market. It'll help you a lot with understanding what should happen in certain zones. I don't know how many time left on the clock. If one of you guys can see it, let me know on your side. I'm sure it's going to cut off pretty soon, I think. If not, then let's start. Let's jump into like a question. Maybe one of you guys had some questions or some thoughts about the market. I know I've had a lot of DMs with a lot of you guys, well, personal messages under your tabs. Oh, and in the next video, let's announce the challenge. I'm probably gonna start the next video with that first, so that way we can cover the challenge. I want you guys to really enjoy this one, and have some fun with it. But yes, let me stop sharing my screen and speak with you all. So did anybody have a question in regards to this week's price action, something you experienced in the market? If you did, this is the time to go ahead, take over the mic.
I have a question.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, it's Brian.
What's up, Brad?
Today from do you trade after news?
Do I trade news?
Yeah, after news.
No, not really. It all depends on the conditions. Everything for me is all about the conditions. Um, mm, keep me
Yeah,
in touch with time, by the way, guys.
yeah.
It's the conditions. If the market presents, let's say, opportunity, let's say the news happen, price shoots up and it reaches a significant supply and it starts giving me reaction, or at least creates two legs to the downside, or it creates a structure on a 5 minute and it breaks that structure as well with a body, and it didn't reach like a discount level with a demand there that was resting, it didn't tap it, then yes, price giving me a retracement or an opportunity for a retracement, I'd take it. Mostly I'd rather wait for the retracement because it could be risky. It could pretend a fake retracement and induce me, then make the real retracement. So I'd rather wait if to see if it retraces within my session time. And if it reaches a 50% or a 618 level, I then look to still sell it, but I'll only sell it to the low of where the last wick is, which would be in this case, like I said, if it does a 5 minute BOS, I look to target that low of that 5 minute that it started the retracement from. I wouldn't try to target the demand. I wouldn't try to target beyond it. I just look for 50% or the low of the wick that we're coming from internally. So
No,
that's how
okay,
I would
because
trade news. Otherwise, I stay out of it.
yeah, today after the news happened, I saw price mitigated the 4 hour POI,
Hmm.
and zooming to the lower time frame, I saw two legs on Euro USD.
Hmm.
Yes, and I took
Um,
a sale from there. So I think I was asking if it was a correct idea because news happened, we had mitigation, and moving to the lower time frame, we had two leg protocol.
so you said this was Euro USD?
Yeah,
Let me take a look. I didn't look at Euro USD, but let me see. Okay, so with Euro USD, let's see what happened. The news in itself, the news was at 8:15. So this was way before our kill time window. But as you can
yeah,
see, Euro USD did reach a supply. What supply is this? Oh, look, it reached a daily supply. So context tells you what this high led to this low, even though it led to a mitigation. So this high should eventually fail because it led to a mitigation, right? But
mm,
price, it caused these breaks of structure though. It did cause these significant breaks. So you're still going to get a reaction from it. The reaction may not be that it leads to this, a break to the
yeah,
downside. The reaction could just be that it comes to either what, 50% and go up, or it could be what, come down to induce this level and then go up, or it could simply just come right here, leave 50% as a liquidity, come back up, break above here, use that inducement to come back, take the 50% liquidity out right here, and then continue bullish if that's the intention. That's the only way you can avoid not respecting this level is because what? From the high time frame, we can, oops, all his markers. Let me clean this up. From the high time frame, you can see that price has levels of premium that it hasn't retraced to. So you can see from this high that led to this low, where price caused this breakup structure here, we only came to the 50%. So we haven't come to 618 yet. You could do the same thing for this one here. You can see we did come to a premium level. We came right here, 618. So you would understand why something like this could fail, because this is the first time that price is retracing to this premium level. But let's jump to the lower time frame and see that. So during news, price comes and gives you this mitigation of that daily we just talked about. So of course, you know that the market's not just going to run through the daily like a running back. It has to give a reaction. So in your key time window, what are you looking for? You just said it. You said you had a two-leg protocol. Clean. You had this high from the mitigation, one leg, retrace. How did we say it could confirm that the leg is valid? You grab your fib tool from the first one to the retracement, and you can see that it came to a excuse me, y'all. You can see that it came to a premium level. level right here. It came to 618. So you understand that was a full retracement. So you have one leg, push, two leg, and it pushes down. But price didn't come and induce this high immediately and take this level for you to sell. It didn't. Instead, it presented you a different option. It gives you a third leg, right? One leg, retrace, two leg, retrace, but not to a premium level. It didn't do a premium. It gives you the third leg, reach mitigation. But here's what happened. Did you get a mitigation of this level? This would be your invalidation level. Because you didn't mitigate here first, this lets you know that this would be valid to sell from this level here. You take it from this level here. You'll assume this right here and you'd cover this high and your entry would be right in this potential level, something like this, right? But you'd wait for it here and you'd still target 50% in this case. Why? Because look at the big move that happened. It's a big move. You're not going to try to say, oh yeah, price has to come to here now or to this demand or to this level. No, you look for 50%, which I'm sure is somewhere around here. 50% of this move because price has to balance. So this would be an easy trade. You catch a 1-4 on. But this is understanding that the two leg would work this way. Your entry most likely would have been from this one. This would have been the one entered you in. And price would have done this, broken this level, and you would have still been in a trade even when it induced this level. Why? Because you understood it already gave you the two leg, actually a third leg, and it did not mitigate your invalidation demand. That demand right there would have been your invalidation for the two leg. Granted, in some cases, you would get this mitigation of this demand, and price still does this right here and still fails this demand. Do you know why? Talking to you, Brian. Do you know why?
No, 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 no.
The reason is because you've already mitigated the supply. You already hit the supply before you come into that demand.
Higher time frame supply.
Yeah, you already mitigate this. So which one has more strength? Who has more momentum? Who's coming down with more force? This high
Higher
time frame
time
demand that's
frame.
been sitting here that caused all these breaks of structures on the high time frame versus this small internal 1 minute demand. All it did was had a slight retracement and pushed in. You get me? So
Yeah,
these are the contexts where you can read it and say, oh, I still will take the sell despite the probability that price is presenting me with. This is how you use context. With knowing the probabilities and what is in front of you, I would more likely bet my money on this sell versus the continuation on from this level type of thing. So if
yeah.
you took it
I
from
took
there, you sold, valid sell.
okay. Thank you. I took the same trade.
That's good, man. I'm glad you having clarity with the two leg. Anyone else?
Yo,
Hold
Sauce.
on, brother. Yes, sir.
Yo, I was just, now that he's actually asking about this trade, I was going to ask you a similar question.
What's
So
up?
I seen the first two leg on the EU, but then, so it induced like one of the legs right there.
Okay. 1 minute?
It's on 1 minute, yeah. So
Okay.
it induced one of the legs and then it tapped into that demand.
It
So
induced
it
one of the
induced the
legs.
high. It induced the high
Mhm.
of
Your leg. This one.
the one after, right to the right.
This one.
No, the one above that.
This one.
Yeah. So that one, see that
Yeah.
candle right to the right of it?
This.
No, the one right before it. Yeah, that one. So
Uh-huh.
that induced the one right to the left of it.
Okay. So you had this minor inducement right here.
Yeah. So that minor inducement tapped into the demand.
Tap into your demand here.
Yeah.
Yep. And you
The
wondering,
the
was that not an invalidation?
no, the demand right above it.
Ah, got you, got you. This one.
Yeah. And then because I was doing some analysis after my post analysis, and I was like, because it tapped into the daily supply. You just mentioned it to Brian. That's what I was thinking of it.
That plus
Because
this.
it
It
tapped
tapped
into the
into two
daily supply.
supplies. This is the second supply right here. Daily
Yeah,
supply
because
first.
it already mitigated that one, the two leg
Yep.
first.
This was the first one. And look, it failed to break it, had this minor, came back, took this inducement and tapped into this one. This was another supply that did what? Caused break of structure, break of structure. So there has significance why this one now became invalid.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, and then I was gonna take it to the 50,
Yeah.
and because it tapped into that, I just got overcomplicated. But yeah, no, just
And it
because Brian
happens
was talking about, it,
fast.
I was thinking about it. Yeah,
Yeah. And if anyone missed it, for example, this could have been your follow-up entry. Why? Because if you wanted to wait for extra confirmation, once this fails, once price fails this demand, this is confirmation because now you got a break of structure from this level and the demand that could potentially prevent you from taking a trade fell, even if you see this right here, and you say, okay, well, maybe it's going to respect this demand. The fact is, all these demands got mitigated already. Daily, this one, so you know this one will also have to fail. So this will be a retest to sell, and you could even cover the swing, this right here, just to protect yourself, right here, and still target 50%, and still hit a 1 or 3.
Yep, that was the exact trade from this morning because I was looking at it after, and then I was like, a lot of
Yeah,
confirmation. Yeah, I gave a lot of
yeah.
confirmation for sure.
I
Yeah.
wish I looked
Okay.
at EU today. I just had a lot going on, but I didn't get a chance to. But it's okay.
Yeah, it was a lot cleaner than GU today because GU pump fake, GU just induced, but EU actually
Yeah,
broke on the 1 hour.
yeah. Geo created all
Yeah.
this liquidity that I was showing you guys earlier. I just walked away as soon as I seen that big old candle, and I just saw price giving me this right here. Did this equal high first? It had an equal high here, and then the equal high gets induced, and the inducement of the equal high led to this break of structure, but price didn't really leave a clean supply here. Then it started creating this support and resistance zone where 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, 4 tap. I'm like, okay, liquidity above, liquidity underneath. You had an inducement up here into this supply, inducement down here, taking the leg of the low that led to this internal. It just didn't look like anything promising. Then you see channel. All I'm seeing is liquidity. At this point, I have no business being involved in here, you know? So that's the perspective that I kind of walked away from it with. Looks like they're giving me grace with the time today. All right. What's going on? Anybody else with another question? Feel like I'm on a hot seat. I don't know when it's gonna cut off on me.
Hmm.
Oh, while
Uh,
we still here, before the next question, let's jump into the a little bit about our challenge. Okay. So
mm,
how I would love for us to conduct this challenge, and I'll maybe put it in text and then repost it again for those of you guys who are here. And then those who are not, maybe they'll follow up on the video, you guys questions on it. So I wanted to make it a lengthy one, not super long, but lengthy enough to where we have time because we're already the 7th of August. So I want to do from the 7th
mm,
of August to the 7th of September. What I want everyone that's here to do, if you haven't already, to first qualify, or even if you succeed, but you don't, what will qualify you is that you have to have used the, let me pull up this, let me share my screen again. This one's going to show the Discord. You need to have shared your goals inside of the tab. Can y'all see my Discord, the Discord?
yeah.
All right, you need to have in this tab, let's be accountable. You need to have made a post in here expressing what your goals are. If your goals are not presented, then it's hard for us to use the metrics of knowing that you succeeded at your goal. So what is the whole objective of the of this, of this challenge? I want you guys to create goals, realistic goals. If you're someone who's it's going through a prop firm challenge, your goal is going to not just be, if you're started phase 1, your goal is to get to phase 2 and pass phase 2 within that date from August 7th. We'll start Monday. So we'll say we'll start in Monday. So August 10th to September 10th. Your goal is to pass phase 1, pass phase 2. You don't got to get a payout. Pass phase 1, pass phase 2. If you get a payout, that's a bonus. It adds points to you. Mind you, I'm going based off of the goals you write. So you're going to have that goal. So I want trading goals. After
Mm-hmm.
trading goals, I want life goals, personal life goals, whether that's books you're trying to read, whether that's things you're trying to improve on. That's your mind, that goal. And the last one I want is health goals, whether that's the type of way you're trying to eat, whether that's gym routine you're trying to be consistent in. Put those realistic 3 compartment goals. And I want all 3 of them hit. If you're able to hit all 3 and you hit it first before someone else, let's say multiple people hit all 3. If you were first to complete your goal, you would be crowned number 1 for this competition. It's all about who finished it and what date. If you're able to do 2 out of 3, and many others do 2 out of 3, then you would be whoever did the 2 out of 3 first, and times and all that stuff within the stamps. That's why we have the accountable, because you're going to be posting and sharing that when you hit those goals. Then that would be second place. And if you're able to do 1 out of the 3, and if many of us do 1 out of the 3, then it will be the same selection of things. But if obviously multiple people do all three, then first, second, and third place will go to, if we have only 3 people do all 3, it will go to them 3 because they completed all 3. So it won't be based on the category. So I'll repeat it again. Trading goals, if you have a prop that you're doing right now, demos don't qualify. If you have a prop that you're doing right now and you're on phase 1, get to phase 2. If you have a prop right now, you're already on phase 2, complete phase 2, get a payout. So if you're already on phase 2, you got to complete it and get a payout. That will complete that trading goal for you. And the other parts, you guys will, know whether it's a book you're trying to read and the goal is I want to finish this book by the end of the month, or I want to start reading it. It has to be a completion of something when it comes to your mind aspect, what you're trying to complete. Whether it's I want to take some psychology classes or I want to get a therapist or whatever the case may be, I need you to take action, right? I've learned in these atomic habits that we incentivize ourselves. We're more motivated when there's an incentive behind what it is that we're aiming for. So this is why I want you to aim for that for your mind and be you'll be incentivized for it. And the last part is just health. Whether you're a man or a woman, you need to pour into your health. And I want you guys to take your health serious. Doesn't mean you're sick or anything like that, whether you're young or old. Find a routine to start building some sort of a healthy dopamine. You get dopamine from working out. You get dopamine for going on a walk. If that's what your aspect of health is, your workouts, etc., you want to go on a walk on a daily basis, 3 times a week. I just need you to create those goals. And at the end of that period, from August 10th to September 10th, you will report those goals in your Let's Be Accountable tab, and I'll be able to review it. I'll see the dates it was posted, the dates it was completed, and I'll be able to crown you the victor for whatever category you're in. Now, one question that you may be wondering, if you already passed the prop, etc., does it count? No, it doesn't count. You'd have to either get a new one, or if you currently already passed a prop, let's give it for those who already have it, right? And they're not looking to purchase a new one to be a part of the challenge. If you already passed a prop and you're in the funding stage, you just need to get 2 consistent payouts. You don't got to do 3 payout, just 2. I want to make it fair because those who have a prop firm that they just started, they only got to get to phase 2. They only got to do 2 accomplishments with their trading career. And those who already have a phase 2, they just got to pass phase 2 and get a payout. So they only have to do 2 things. So if you're already at the phase of funded, you don't got to do 3 payouts or just get 2 payouts. First one, second one. And then that will carry on to your goal. What happens if you blew an account? Let's get another one. Within that window, you can accomplish your goal. Put some pressure behind yourself. Have that willpower, that mindset, knowing you can accomplish it, and you will. And I promise you, some of you guys will be surprised to see what you can make of yourself when you really, really put pressure behind you. They say pressure busts pipes or make diamonds. You choose which one you're going to be. But does anyone have any questions about the challenge and how, what are the rules of it and what, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question here. You said you will consider also health aspect. So, like, how are you going to measure in terms of health? If I
Well,
say I'm going to do 20 push-ups per day, maybe, or 100 push-ups, or 60 squats, so how will you know
good
that
question.
I did?
Good question. So there's a reason why I upgraded our community. Well, it probably doesn't notify you guys, but I paid for a subscription for our community, our Discord, to have Boost. So what the Boost does, it allows you guys to post videos. That's why you see I was able to share clips and visuals and videos into the chat. Before you couldn't. It limits you to the size, but now you guys can. You can share those videos and clips. So if your goal is something in that nature where you want to do a certain amount, per day or per week or 3 days a week, it has to be minimum 3 of something. So if it's your reading, minimum 3 days a week, you want to read it. If it's your gym, minimum 2 to 3 days. For gym, I'll say 2 to 3 because some of us live a busier life, but for reading is no exception. Whether you want to do 5 days a week, don't do nothing less than 3 when it comes to that aspect. But for when you ask for, that's for fitness. That's not for the mind, by the way. The gym part is for the physical. But if you did do that, you would need to record that of which you're doing that each time. You want to show the date. I'm not asking you to be overly transparent, but I would want you to be honest with yourself. You know,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
what's the word? Don't lie to yourself, or don't do it for the sake of a
the
shortcut just so
prizes.
you can win something, because all you would be doing is having a short-term gain, but on the long
Yeah,
term, the effect of what you didn't do is going to catch up to you. So I would want anybody who's doing it, to be honest with themselves, to the extent where I don't even have to ask you. I don't want to ask you for the transparency. You should want to give that transparency of, hey, this is the thing with the gym. I hit it. I'm doing my push-ups today. Consistently communicating that. And if it's you going to the gym, and let's say you don't want to show yourself in the gym doing the workout, maybe it's your gym scan. When you scan the day you went to your gym and your gym membership shows that you showed up today, post that screenshot. Or you get in the gym, you don't have to show yourself. Post that one. Let it be the date. Something that lets you and others know that, hey, you are on your stuff when it comes to that. Very simple. But I don't want to overwhelm you. You don't have to always go to a gym. It can just be something you do at home. Like today, I did
yeah,
workouts at home, push-ups, squats, and just lifting something as dumbbells. You can just do that for yourself. It doesn't have to be going to a gym, getting a membership, and spending money. I don't want you guys to feel that type of overwhelm. I just want you to move your body, which is going to translate to your mind. And then you're pouring into your mind with books, which is going to translate to the way you think. The way you think is going to translate to the way you trade. And you're going to see a full-on transition within this month span. You'll become a different person.
yeah, okay.
Good question, though.
No,
Naila just dropped a comment by a post actually in the chat, pretty much
saw that.
detailing it. Naila, I'd love if you could definitely help me with putting this in a way or a file or a PDF that I could also post into our community announcement for those who are not here, so they can properly get the essence of this challenge. I'd really appreciate it if you can. Thank you. We are doing like a tiny vlog slash blog. Yes, you can call it that, Faria. In this area, the Let's Be Accountable section, I want that to be the corner where you guys feel confident and feel at ease. Don't feel threatened. Don't feel, it's almost where this is where your world live, what you're experiencing, the goods, the bad, your journey. Because one day, I promise you, all of you all will look back in this moment and see this chat and be like, dang, I used to go through this. I used to go through that. And you would be making so much more money and advancement in trading that you won't believe it. But it will feel good because you will be able to look back at the story of where you came from and where you currently are and see the time that it took for you to get there. Some of you all, since we started this little tab, have hit milestones that they thought they were going to hit at the end of the month. And they were quickly to realize, oh my God, I hit that. We have Zach who did the same. You have Jose who did the same. And I think we had one other person who did the same. And one who she hasn't posted it yet, but she's already smashed a lot of her accomplishments along the way. But you'll be surprised to see how much you can accomplish when you set a goal, knowing that you're trying to reach it and how fast it can happen from your expected date. So that's the whole point. I just want you guys to really be down on setting goals and attacking them.
Okay. Also, another question.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, on the channel, these goals are just because of the challenge, or you need people to write their goals. I mean, general goals about life aspect, or in terms of trading aspects, health, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
is it short term or long term?
No, I expressed the dates. It's between August 10th to September 10th. All
So
you need
goals
to
between those dates only.
Yes. If you
Ah,
already
okay.
have a challenge right now that you're working on, you have a prop challenge you're taking and it's on phase one, just use that one. You don't need to create new goals from what you've already posted. All I want you to
Okay.
do is, if you're on phase one, get to past phase two. So get past phase one, get past phase two. That's it. You don't have to get a payout. And if you're already on phase two, just get a payout. And if you're on phase three, you funded, just get two payouts. That's all. For the trading side of your things.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
Thanks for the
Um,
clarity.
any other
Perfect.
questions
So,
regarding the challenge? Are we good? Oh, Imran, what's
yeah,
going on,
no,
bud?
yeah. What's going on, my bro? Thanks for having us. I mean, perfect. Keeping yourself accountable and knowing your goals. I think I've wanted to do that for quite some time now. And unfortunately, when it comes to keeping yourself accountable, you generally overlook that. But having us write it down, putting it in within the chat will then make us hold that accountability and addressing that accountability much more better. So yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. Honestly, sharing these goals, making us put them in writing, and then holding us accountable, having some accountability, because in some sort of way we're self-employed, right?
Right.
And we're trying to keep ourselves accountable, but we overlook some of those things within this
Right.
whole
Right.
mist of
Yeah,
uh
I agree.
of
And I'm
our
with you
trading
on it.
journey.
Yep. And I'm with you all on it. You guys see me all the time. I stop by in your corners on this accountable tab, and I drop a comment. I see what you guys are doing. Who haven't been posting in a day or two, I drop a comment. Hey, what's going on? You haven't said anything. You haven't held yourself accountable. So I'm also keeping you all accountable by just checking through and
Absolutely.
seeing, hey, what's going on? At the end of the day, I'm not going to chase after you like I'm your parents. Say, hey, you're supposed to do such and such. I'm just gonna drop a comment here and there, letting you know, hey, what's going
Absolutely.
on, and I keep it moving. At that point, like you said, you are self-employed. I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. I can remind
Yeah.
you. I can make a stop by and say, hey, I want you to win, but it seems like you're slacking. Give you a little nudge, but I can't shove you. I can't push you. I can't make your legs start running for you. I can only, give you a little nudge here and there.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks a lot for that.
For sure, man, for sure. I think other than that, I think we're all good on the understanding of our challenge. So what is it that you get? All right, first place, I'm going to personally purchase you a 10K prop firm. Hands out. I'll send you the funds, you purchase it, or I purchase it for you, etc. But we're gonna get you a 10K prop firm. That's for the first place. Second place, you would receive a gift. Oh, first place also gets that gift. My apologies. So you get the prop firm and a gift. And the gift, I guess in this case, I would either mail it to you if you're in the States in the UN winter. And if you're in another country like London or wherever you are, then I'll just have to order it for you and get it delivered to you, or vice versa, or something else. We'll figure it out, but you'll get a gift to come along with that prop, something that aligns with it. So don't worry, I've thought it through. And for second place, you just get that gift, right? You'd get that gift, and it still gives you something to carry on with your efforts, and it's gonna pour continuously into you from what you've already done during this challenge. And for third place, you just get that one-on-one. You know, you were there, you were almost there at becoming second place or first place, but I want to keep you encouraged, because guess what? You reached that milestone for the third place. I want to give you that one-on-one session where I answer your question. We go over your chart. We see how you show me how you read the market. What is your eye? And I can fine tune it for you. I can give you some twists and turns of something you might have missed or you probably wasn't aware of. I can help you fine tune your system. So that would be the third place, right? Because first place,
Third
obviously,
place
they
is
hit all the
sweet.
milestones. They know what they're doing. Huh?
The third place is so sweet.
It could be that. But guess what? First place, they get the whole prop. They already know what they're doing. It's basically like somebody saying, hey, here,
Yeah,
go make
yeah,
some money
yeah,
with this. That's super sweet as well. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, just joking.
for sure, man. All right. So with that being said, I want to see if there's any other questions though. Maybe it doesn't have to be related to the challenge at this point. It can go into the chart. 7. Let's on my side, let's do like another 25 minutes till about 7:30 or so, basically half hour. And then we can call it a day because I know it's late for some of you all. If we don't have any questions, then we can commence. Any questions? And don't hesitate. You could open up your mic at any point. Somebody said, I want third. I want third place. That's funny. Don't try to aim for third place. You know? Challenge
Well, that should have
yourself.
been first place. That should have been
Aim
first
for first
place.
place, right? You
Yeah,
said I should be first place. Somebody said, I'd rather the
100%.
hour conversation than a free prop firm.
yeah, sure.
Guys are funny. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we have any chart related questions. Um, I know some of you all may feel shy. Don't feel shy. I'm telling you, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. These are the times that you want to ask questions where you can get the answer more clear. Okay, yeah. No worry, Faria. Whenever
So,
you're
one
ready.
question.
Yeah.
It's not a question, it's a request. I think on our next session, if you could, I really struggle with the high time frame analysis. I mean, I end up marking out the wrong POI sometimes. I know they lead from one structure to the other, break off structures, and those are the significant structures. But sometimes I don't know if it's the brokers I'm using. I just saw you use is it FXCM. I
Yeah,
use
I do.
Oanda, but sometimes either it's the brokers. But I would love to see a top-down analysis of where you mark out your structures on a daily 4 hourly, and then dropping down to an hourly and having a look at the pointer structures where you pick these up from. I mean, I don't want you to go into it detail today, but it would be nice to see how you look at it. I mean, it's brilliant how you're showing it on here and your analysis on where the prices come from and going to. But what I would love to see is a breakdown from a daily to a 4 hour to an hour. If you can
Yeah,
run one session on that,
yeah. I
please.
won't. Good question. I mean, good request. I won't go too deep into a full top down because we have, a lot of content, earlier videos on YouTube that we made when we in the beginning stage when we started this community. That's something that
Okay.
we super highly
I'll,
focused on, was doing a lot of
I'll run through that.
top down on those 2-3 hour calls. But I'll give you a refresher by all means. So when it comes to just if I ever go look at a pair for the first time, if this GU was the first time I come on this pair and I'm trying to learn how to trade it, first thing I'm going to go to is the monthly, because at that point I want to see where it's at in the monthly. Oh, okay, it's been a bearish and this is where we're at. We're reacting from this level. Did it take it? Yes, price took the bottom of it. It was a major inducement. So I understand this major inducement must come and take out this level. Let me grab this highlighter too. It must come and take out this level. Not take it out with a body, but at least with a wick. Why? Because it led to an inducement of this level. What was this level significant for? It led to this high that broke internal 1, internal 2, and internal 3. So I expect this to at least take this level first. And on top of that, I got relatively trend lines right here of equal highs. And I see a supply right here that could potentially be where price react from. If this is me looking at this on a monthly, long term, trying to understand where the market could go, my first stop is here, second stop is here, if it goes to that level. That would be how I would look at it from that high time frame. And then from there, when it comes to marking out those high time frame POIs, would I mark it on a daily if price is far, like price is this far from this daily? Would I sit here and say, okay, well, I'm expecting price here, and now my bias is going to be stuck on that? I got to keep seeing price do this. No, I wouldn't do that, because this is on a monthly time frame. As much as it looks this crispy clean as to where the order block and the levels are, I'm not going to focus on this, only because this is too far. But I'll go down to the weekly just to make sure it aligns with the daily, that the retracement is confirmed. This will be my perspective. I look at the weekly liquidity, seeing this trend line here, right? So I understand this becomes a previous day level right here. That price would need to give me that inducement from that I spoke about right here. So this is kind of how I would read it and understand that this is where the market is, right? This whole area is just a range that price needs to take, right? So that would be reading it from the high time frame, going to the weekly. Mind you, this is me coming to a chart for the first time, assuming. I'll jump to the daily. All right, well, knowing all of this, that price needs to eventually come take these trend lines that I was marking on the weekly, etc. On a daily, where are we anyways? Okay, I'm not close to that level up there, but I can see that I'm close to this. So what is this? An area price reacted from. Okay, why am I even marking it? Because it led to what? Breakup structure, which was right here. Then it retraced right here, and it led to another what? Breakup structure. So now I
Structure.
understand this level is going to be strong enough to at least give me a push. A push to where? Either to this demand here before reaction happens, because this demand, when it pushed up, it broke above here. It broke this level and this level. So I understand if price comes to it, it's going to give a reaction. But what happened? Price came and did not mitigate it. Uh-oh, that's a red alert. Price didn't mitigate it. And it's now coming back to what? Either this level or this one to mitigate deeper into this one, because this is what I call the gentleman's kiss, where price just comes in, just taps it very tightly, very small. It didn't come deep into the level. So you can expect that maybe it could come again, induce in here, take this level as a medium, and then give you the push that's going to take this level out. Granted, we still specifically realize we wouldn't see price go higher to take these levels, but that doesn't mean it has to do it instantly. It can come and take out these levels right here, this inducement right here, and then tap into this demand that's resting here before the true move happen, right? That's one aspect of it. But then when you look far left, you can see this is almost like a ranging market right here. So you could say, okay, well, if this range is going to induce low, then price could come to potentially this one. And this could be the reaction level where price taps in, then continue bullish. Why? Because the pro trend from the weekly, monthly, you saw that price needed to continue further up anyways. So this is how I would build my high time frame analysis of understanding where overall high time frame where price wants to go. But when it comes to what's happening in my session today, and I'm on my daily, all I'm paying attention to is my medium inducements or major inducement. I'm going to come, my session starts. Did I take any previous day levels? Okay, I did. In this case right here, I took the low, I took this low, I took this previous day low, and let's say my session is opening. After seeing this on a daily, all I'm going to now is the 4 hour. Why? Because I took lows, I know I want to see sells. So on the 4 hour, I want to see, well, because I didn't mark it with the right thing, it doesn't show me nothing. Let's quickly do this. Previous day low, previous day low. Cool. So we go to the 4 hour. All I'm looking for the 4 hour now is understanding that I had previous day low levels taken. So I'm looking for buys. Why? Because major inducements happen, which is going to lead to a major move. In this case, after this one, look at this. Rocket to the upside. Why? Because you took 2 levels of previous date. So if I was coming into the session before this big old thing happened, I'd be looking for this. I'd go to the 15-minute. I'd identify. After these medium inducements, was there any mitigations? Okay, I could see from this low to the left that led to this high, 50%. Where was it? Right here, 50% liquidity was resting right in this area. Okay, so price needs to induce it. What's underneath this 50%? 618 is right here. But is there an order block in here? No. But what you do see is an order block resting right here. So would you take the whole trade from this exact order block, knowing that you know this 50% level needs to be induced? Of course not. What you do, you'd wait for price underneath it. You'd want to see price induced underneath it, right? Because this demand needs to fail for you to know that this won't hold. Now, this doesn't mean you traded aggressive. This just means that this is a probable range because it's under 50% of this whole push that happened here that caused these breaks, that caused this break, that caused this break and this break. So you know that this is a potential, a strong area because price consolidated here, right here. As you can see, let me do it quickly. Price consolidate range in this area. So you see the highs get taken, you know the low must be taken. And it's also a 50% range. So you always want to be constantly reading liquidity. So in that case, you know this could be a possible area price reacts from. Decision, well, I wouldn't call it decisional, but it could be a probable area. So you just wait for your 1 minute when that mitigation happened. But granted, it didn't happen during our key time window. So obviously you wouldn't take this trade, but price still gave a reaction outside of our key time window following our protocol, 2-leg protocol. What happened? You get this mitigation deep, price gave you 1 leg, slight retrace, but it didn't come to the discount area. So it gave you this push up here, first break, comes back down, give you a third push, another break. So now you have either this level to trade because it gave you a third leg, but what happened when it came to it? It failed to mitigate it. That's a bad sign because price didn't mitigate you and it pushes up first, broke another structure to finally reach where? Another supply. Invalidation model. Right there, slight tap. On a higher time frame, it's probably this entire zone. It mitigate here first. Invalidation model. Immediately, you know that this right here becomes a smart money trap. This whole potential demand. Even though it broke here, broke above here, broke above here, broke above here, even here, the fact is it mitigated a supply. This was the last point that led to this move. So when price comes to it, it will fail. In this case, it failed both levels, this one and this one, and then gave you the inducement that our 2-leg protocol typically needs to do for us, right? Which is this one right here. One of the key components of our 2-leg is letting price induce the low that led to the break of structure, which in this case, this was the first leg, retracement, second leg. This was the change of character, I mean, not break of structure. And this is where we typically would want to take our trade, covering the low of it and expecting price in this range. But it was outside of our key time window. We couldn't take it. But this is the type of confirmation you'd want, 2.6 pip stop loss. And you could still take this if it was your key time window and still cover the overall low of the zone to protect yourself. and still would have been within 3 pips. And if you felt like that was kind of cringy because you're not too sure about that area and you want to cover lower levels, you still have 7 pips to work with. So 7 pips, you have all these levels to work with. You could have covered this wick just to make sure that price is respecting levels like this, where it could have induced this level and still kept you in a trade. Why would you think that? Because there's still an order block right here. This demand resting underneath here, and this was your 618 area when we did do the fib tool. We said from this low to this high. Excuse me. There you go. From this high, you could say that this was my discount level, my premium. So just in case price come into the premium, I want to still cover my butt so that price doesn't take me out. And you're still within 7 pips. This is 5 pips. If you cover the overall of the premium, you can even cover more than 50%. But if you want to reach for the 7 because of the condition that you're in, not every day, every price action, the market puts you in this type of predicament. So in this specific predicament, you're trying to adjust with it. Yes, you could still look to say this and still target your above the last high that led to this position and still target to take it out for a 1 or 3. Obviously, you would have been like sick to see the rest of it continues this much. But yeah, this was outside of our key time window, so that's why the market did it. It didn't want us to be a part of it, those who trades in specific key times. So I hope that gave you an essence of the high time frame, bro, how I kind of bring myself down to the lower time frame without confusing myself of knowing what the monthly, the daily, the weekly was already telling me. I'm just focused on my immediate price action of that day.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what I do. I generally start marking out every single thing. But yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I'll rewatch some of the videos. Thank you. Thanks,
Sure, man.
Source.
Absolutely, bro. Hey, can you explain the channels, please? Yeah, I can go a little bit into the channels. I explained it earlier in the video, but definitely I'll give you a quick context. Rewatch it. Actually, I kind of deleted it, the whole chart, so I don't even know if it's gonna show. I took everything out. I'll see if it lets me go that far back. If not, then I'll just give you one example of a simple channel. After Fridays, when I do these calls with you guys, I just clear my chart, start fresh all over next week. What am I? Oh, I'm on EU. My bad. No wonder. All right, I think I got it on GU. All right, cool. Look, so channel. Let's get a quick understanding of the channel. The channel is just like your consolidation range, right? Price is gonna take both sides. So you could see it like this, for example. Here's a consolidation range. What you know about consolidation range is that when price takes the low of it, it's gonna take the high, right? It took the low, and then eventually it comes take the high on another side at the other side with news. Same thing with the channel. The only difference is the channel is vertical. Your consolidation range is from left to right. The channel is just like this diagonal. That's all it is. That's the only difference. This will be a sales channel, this one right here, and this will be a buyer's channel, right? Where price is showing you buying control. But usually you don't want to predict the direction that the market is going to go. It's going to tell you in the channel, it's going to tell you which way. What do? You wait for price to break out of one of the direction. You obviously want to follow control, right? You also want to include high time frame context. You don't just see a channel, ignore high time frame context and just say, oh yeah, it induced above right here. Just like this, I'm going to now target the low of it because Sauce says anytime the channel induce high, it has to come take the low, just like a consolidation range. That's not how channels work. There's a lot more nuances to it. I would not recommend you just go trade channels immediately. I would definitely back test this over and over. I did for a long time. For those of you who remember when I used to post back maybe like toward the end of the last year, you'd start seeing me post a lot where some of my graph would show channels. Since then, I was practicing channels. I didn't always have it right. I was getting it wrong over and over until I finally figured it out. I finally understood how the channel functions. So when you get these types of control, buyers are controlling the channel. If buyers continues to push up before coming down to pick more momentum to continue through, then you know that price is going to sell down. Versus if price was not ready to sell down and they wanted to continue higher, what would happen is buyers would need more liquidity. When they reach this level here in Asia, for example, right here on this one, when this mitigation happened, buyers would have lost momentum, and this would have been a break of structure instead of an inducement and a retest to come into this level to then give price the, well, not even here, continue until price reached something like, I would say this level, because this would need to be, this was the low that led to the high. It would be this level here as your decisional, and this would be your extreme right here. Why? Because if price breaks to the downside, first thing first, after this mitigation, it's going to invalidate this. We've talked about this in other cases where I told you, if it leads to a mitigation, it has to fail. If it's break structure but mitigates somewhere that has caused something, in this case, this high led to this internal low, breaking here, breaking under here, it has to fail. So price will either induce it or close a body underneath it to continue to show that it wants to go lower. So that would be the first case scenario if price decided to come down first before all this happened. If it chose to come down, you would have seen a reaction from here to go up or a reaction from here to go up. If you take your fib tool, you can see from this low to the high, this is where 618, all premium levels. So this is how you understand the trend, the channel. It presents itself just like a consolidation range. It just looks diagonal. It's just not as, it's vertical, I mean. It just doesn't look like this, left and right. Okay, it just doesn't look like left and right. Matter of fact, if you delete it, you could literally do this. Look at this. You can mark this like this, and you do the same thing to the bottom. That looks just like a channel. That's the same thing. Same way I have this right here is the same thing. Price is just bouncing from one area to other. Guess what happened? It broke to the downside first, and then eventually came what? To the upside. It went for a mitigation first. It pushed down, took these medium inducements, found a mitigation level, and then charged up. Same way here. It's just happening on a diagonal level. It's not complex. Channels are not complex. The hardest thing you're going to have when it comes to channel is understanding how to properly market. You want to market where it's like, first start off with just doing a trend line. You're going to have areas where a channel looks like this, and you're going to think it's a channel. These are all the mistakes that I made, and that's why I learned it to properly market. I would say this, I'll say, okay, 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, and I'll jump and say, okay, well, where's the other part of the channel? I'll say this one is. Look, right? Check this out. I'll say, oh, this is the channel. Now, let's be honest. Does this look awkward? Look how weird this line looks compared to this. It's almost like perfectly aligned compared to how a consolidation range look, right? For a consolidation range, it's completely in the box. It doesn't look awkward where I'm trying to force it. This is considered you trying to force 3 taps to make it look like a channel. So this wouldn't be a channel. This wouldn't work to me to consider this a channel. So the hardest thing you're going to experience when it comes to understanding channel is marking it. Because that was the hardest thing I experienced, is marking the channel. It's the same way when some of you guys were marking consolidation range. In the beginning, the hardest part for you was properly marking which one was consolidation and which one wasn't. Because some of us will say, oh yeah, this right here, I'm gonna give you an example of a consolidation range. We probably get confused, but now you guys probably don't anymore because you guys are more advanced, right? You probably see something like this and say, oh, price consolidated right here. Right here. You say, oh, this was a consolidation range. You'd call this a consolidation range. Is it a consolidation range? Well, technically, it can look like that if you make your chart look like this. But if you put the chart regular, you can clearly see, oh, did I do something crazy? Yeah, if you put your chart regular, you can clearly see there was liquidity cycles. This wasn't a consolidation range. Structures were built and created, and price completely came down to a discount level and gave a reaction to the upside. Right here to this level. Price came under 50, first parked at the 50, pushed back up, induced out of the 50, and made a move up. So this wouldn't be a consolidation range. But you guys have learned that over time, through context, through experience, through understanding that this wouldn't qualify versus something like this, for example. Oops, right here. Versus something like this, for example. Equal highs, retest of the equal highs. So 4 taps already here. Equal lows, that gets induced, and then another low that didn't take it, but it started a trend line. You can tell that, okay, this one could be a consolidation. It took the low, and what did it do? Take the high shortly after. So with experience, you start to see it, like this one, for example. The highs respecting, the lows staying within it, with liquidity involved. You kind of start picking up on it. So that's how I would say to retouch on the context of channel for the young lady who asked about the channel. This is how I would give you a better understanding of the channel. Rewatch this video though when I post it so you can get the clarity from when I first explained it. But the hardest thing you're going to experience, guys, is just properly marketing it. And then once you properly figure out how to market and it's always in alignment, you're going to make so much money with channels because it's very simple. Video going on YouTube this weekend. Yes, sir. We're going to put it up, man. And the previous one. This weekend, I want to get that done. The following weeks, it's going to be hard for me. I don't think I'll be able to do a call next week, guys, because next week I have to take a trip out of the country. And then the week after that, I think a week or two after that, I have to move into a new condo. So pretty much this might be the last proper call we have. Actually, no. I'll do a call while I'm on vacation. I think I'm gonna do that because I'll be trading anyway. So I might as well do a simple call, talk to you guys. So we'll do that. I'm always moving. Why? I'm a nomad. I don't like being in one place. Life is full of experience. Being in one place, you just become a part of that one place. Me, the reason I'm able to just mold and adapt to everything, everyone in so many different ways is because I've lived in so many different places. I've experienced so many different types of people, cultures, to the point where I can get along and speak and have a conversation with anyone. So that's why I'm always moving. And I don't have no kids, so why tie myself somewhere, right? Do you move cities or just house? Cities. I would before I moved here back to Florida, I was living in Canada. Before I was living in Canada, I was living in California. Well, I was living in California before Florida. For California, I was living in other places. I've lived in Hawaii. I've lived in so many different places before coming into trading. When I was making music, I traveled all over and lived in different places. So it's just common to me. You know, I'm used to it. I lived in like 4 or 5 different cities. Yeah, I was in Montreal. Yeah, Montreal. What about Montreal? Yeah, that's what I meant to say when I say Canada. I was referring to Montreal. Speaking of which, eventually my goal is to have our community with enough people in the same places where I can come around and visit and hang out with you guys, maybe go get some dinners and meet and talk and go over certain things. Just kind of build a community where it's not just through camera. We all run into each other, but we have that face-to-face encounters and, build something from here. So in the future, inshallah, if that's meant to be, it'll be. This is what I wanted to do. Yeah, do what you guys want to do. Don't stay in one place. Travel the world, guys. Oh, mentorship. Good question. Good question. So the mentorship is actually so close. I think over this weekend, I have a meeting with the team. We should be launching tomorrow. I didn't want to really say it because I like to wait for the confirmation. We should be launching tomorrow. Tomorrow we should be launching where I'll give you guys just a breakdown. I'm already over the time. It's about to be 7:30. I got to hurry up and get going. But the essence of how the mentorship would be, I will have a platform. There's a place where you guys will be able to go through on my website when it's ready. You'll be able to get a understanding of what it is that's being done, how this mentorship will be made, what the instructions are of what to expect. If it's something that works for you, then obviously you continue through, you schedule an appointment, you schedule a call, schedule a meeting where we can have a one-on-one dialogue, a 45-minute or 30-minute talk, and we can go into details about where you're at, what it is you're looking for, and if this mentorship, if you even need it. Because some of you guys are really understanding what's going on. You might not even need a mentorship. What you just need is the community that you're already around to continue to support you until you find yourself. Some of you may need it, or some of you may not be ready to jump into it, but you want to just kind of get your feet wet. So these are the types of conversation that will happen, and you'll go over it. So when the launch happens, I will make an announcement. I'll definitely make an announcement on IG as well, but I'll make an announcement to you all here first. Like I've always said before, you guys don't have to get into these mentorships. I created this community for us here. I'm going to keep this community, but those who are entering the mentorship will have their own separate section where I will be dedicating a lot more time and efforts to them because they're asking of me. They're paying me to give them 100% of me so that way I can help them expedite their growth. So I will hold myself accountable to do that for them. So we'll still try to make sure we have our calls. That's why I love the groups that we have. Some of you guys are really advanced and a lot of you guys have great understanding. So for those of us who won't be ready for mentorship, at least you still have some of our elites in here that's going to be giving you support, helps. And I'll still answer your questions and your messages and things like that. Obviously, I'll be busier, but I'll still make an effort to reach out to those of us who can't get into the mentorship. It won't feel no type of way. I still got much love for you also. Yeah, so that's the mentorship. It soon come. I don't want to speak on prices and things like that. This is not a pitch. That's why I don't even want to talk about it. You guys reminded me. That's to that degree. You know, a majority of the people who's probably going to be coming into this mentorship, or a lot of the people who are coming from YouTube, who are watching these videos I'm posting and sharing of with you all, they're asking questions, they're DMing me on IG. They're not even part of this community. You guys should know how much I protect you guys' peace of mind. I have a line of people in my DMs every day. Wait, how can I get in? How can I get in? How can I get in? And I let them know we're not taking no more people. Why? Because I don't know everybody's intentions. Some people are just looking for a community to be a trolling. Some people are just looking for a community to try to compete and make other people feel less superior, or so they could feel superior. So I have to protect that environment for you all to have a place to grow and learn from one another without feeling like somebody's trying to make you feel like you ain't doing something right. You haven't reached the level that they're at, or etc. So that's why I waited until this launch, because for those who will get access, they will be vetted through those calls. I'll get to know where they're going from, where they are. And if, some will fall through the cracks, some people will pretend, but then eventually it'll catch up, and then you know what we do. We'll remove them out of our group and protect you guys. But that's the reason why I'm making a separate group anyways, for those who will be in mentorship, because I don't want them to mingle into what you guys have, which is this healthy community. I don't want it to affect you guys as community, so I'll make a separate one for them. But those of you who are in this community who will join, you will be a part of the other community with them, and then you'll experience the difference. So just have patience with it, and we'll be all right. We're gonna be all right, guys. Can I join in September because I'm currently on my last month for TPC? Yeah, it's whenever you on your thing, Faria. It's no rush. Like I said, you guys do what you got to do. If you feel like you reach a point in your career where you need it, and you schedule that call and we go over it and we discuss numbers and all the things, and it works for you, then guess what? You do it whenever you're ready. There's no timing on it. I'm not gonna just close it. It might come a time where I receive enough individuals to focus on, where I put a hold on the next time I'm going to take new individuals. But for the most part, this is just going to be the launch. We're going to have, specials to make sure for even you guys in this community, you won't pay or you won't be charged or even experience the same that a public person who's not part of this community. I'm always going to look out for you all, because you all are the ones who allowed me to develop myself through trying to help you guys develop yourselves. Believe it or not, it helps me just being able to keep repeating myself over and over. Subconsciously, these things are tattooed in my mind. That's why I can see the market so simple, because I keep saying it to you guys so many times over and over. Now I can't help but see what I speak about. So I practice what I preach. 1% better every day. Exactly. 1% better. That's all we look for, man. That daily deposit. So yeah, if you haven't made your comment, I won't hold you no longer, guys. I got to get going. But if you haven't made your post inside of the Let's Be Accountable, you will not qualify. You could hit all 3 of the metrics. If you didn't post it before Monday, so I give you the weekend. It starts Monday. So Naila, please include that for me when you make this. Monday is when it begins. If you have not made that post by Monday night, and you want to start after you've accomplished all of these things, then you want to drop your post, I'm sorry, I love you, but I can't qualify you, because you're cheating the process that everybody else had to go through, and I can't give you special favors. You're here, you get to see that, and the video that I put out for the weekend, I'll let everybody know, and Naila's making this flyer, so everybody will know that by Monday, you must have your post in here. And for those of you who already have your post in here, all I need you to do is the same you're already doing. My battery's at 10%. Okay. I need you to do what you're already doing. Find your goals or whatever you are, identify which props you're in, what phase you're in, and include the things you need to do to win for the trading side, whether it's pass phase 1, pass phase 2. If you're at phase 1, if you're at phase 2, pass phase 2, get a payout. And if you're at the funded phase, get 2 payouts. That's just your trading side of things. And you already know your mind, therapy, reading, whatever it is, something for your mind. And then something for your physical, whether it's going for walks, going for runs, doing something to exercise your heart and your health. With that being said, guys, much love. I hope you all have a great weekend. And for those of you who came later in the call, I did mention I'm going to start changing these Friday calls to perhaps like a Saturday call, either before or after Saleh's call for psychology. So that way you guys are not up so late like this. I know for me, it's not late, and that's convenient, but I don't want it to just be convenient for me. I want it to be convenient for everybody. So we'll do it maybe like on a Saturday where it's earlier, daytime. All right. With that being said, y'all, peace, love, and I'll see y'all next time.
Thanks, my bro.
For sure, man.